From painting to photography, from beadwork to woodworking, KQAL FM on the campus of Winona State University presents Artbeat. Artbeat highlights the work and accomplishments of local artists from in and around Winona. Support for Artbeat is made possible by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund.
Motherhood is a tough topic for young people, so how does an 8th grader handle it? Today on the Artbeat, we interviewed WSU film student Brynn Artley on her film, Maternity for a Weekend. The film explores Artley's sister's experience with an infant simulator for her home ec class. Brynn joins KQAL's MCMD to discuss her artistic process and the Frozen River Film Fest. Awesome. So watching the film, really interesting. A lot of perspective in there, a lot of sort of emotional depth. Really had me thinking. So getting right into the questions here, what inspired you to tackle this subject?
Yeah, so the film is about my younger sister. At the time, she was in 8th grade. I don't know how many of you out there had to take a health class in 8th grade, but she had to take home this robotic baby for the weekend as kind of an assignment to see what is it really like. The baby mimics a actual newborn schedule, so it cries and requires to be fed and rocked and to have its diaper changed. And so this was an assignment that my sister had been looking forward to for years, and I'm talking years. She loves babies. She was so excited. So knowing that this was coming up, I was like, okay, we've got to make a film about it.
How does she feel about the motherhood experience now, post?
Well, that's an excellent question. She still loves babies, but she agreed that she's not quite ready to have one herself.
That's wild, because, wow, even tackling this subject, watching that movie, I was very intimidated. What was it like to wake up in the middle of the night and sort of work with a schedule, an abnormal schedule, to capture the whole experience of this fake baby?
Yeah, so I had the camera on as much as possible because I was trying to document her entire experience, and that included waking up with her at 1 a.m. to the baby's cries. So it definitely was a bit of a challenge because no one likes waking up at 2 a.m. Mm-hmm. But it was important to me to not do any sort of reenactments or anything, but get the actual experience as she was experiencing it.
Do you feel like you went through sort of a portion of that experience with her by capturing it? Oh,
definitely. So ironically, I got out of that particular assignment when I was in 8th grade because I was not too eager to have the robotic baby home for the weekend.
Did they give the boys fake...
The boys, it's the same assignment for both boys and girls, so
that's good.
Yeah.
Intersectionality.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Into the film side of things a little bit. Was this your first film?
No. So this film, I've been making films since I was a kid. Just love playing around with the medium, and today I'm a film studies major. So this particular project I did make for my documentaries class with Dr. Johnson, which was a great experience. But I also work for the WSU marketing communications team, and I just love making movies.
Mm-hmm. What lessons did you learn specifically from covering this topic?
Yeah, that's a good question. First of all, for documentaries in particular, it's really hard to decide when do you turn the camera on and when do you turn it off. Because, she was my sister, so I was like, okay, am I literally going to be filming for 48 hours? Or am I going to go, okay, probably nothing's going to happen in the next hour. Let's go take a break and do this. And there was one particular event that is referenced in the movie that I really, really wish that I had on film. And I didn't get it because I made that decision. So
interesting. Go into a little bit more depth on that specific incident.
Yeah. So kind of the climaxes of the movie is Kiara, my sister, has the baby. It's going great. She's been very nervous about it, but there's really been no major hang-ups. And then she goes to an event in public. She's having fun with her classmates, leaves the baby on a picnic table. It falls off the picnic table. And she is extremely upset because she's treating it as if her actual newborn fell off a picnic table, and she's very embarrassed. And I did not get the baby falling off the picnic table. was so
Yeah,
mad.
that would have been the money shot.
Exactly. So the next best thing I did was I interviewed her, which was a very emotional interview.
Yeah, like I got uncomfortable. I was like, it's sort of like a classically male thing to emotionally withdraw from the situation. It seems like that was a really real experience for Kiara. So how and why do you think this experience affected her in such like a visceral, emotional way?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Because to be honest, I don't think any of her classmates took the assignment as seriously as she did.
So you chose a good subject.
Yeah, I did. I did. So something I touch on in the movie is that Kiara has loved babies her entire life. I mean, literally, it started from when she was 2 years old and my littlest sister, Piper, was brought home from the hospital. I mean, she just was instant love. She wanted one of her own. And so going into this assignment, which she'd been looking forward to for years, I think she just felt like this was her trial run to see what she could do before she actually did it. So she took it very, very seriously, and it just became very real for her.
Wow. Again, the male part of my brain was like, this is a robot. You're overreacting. But like, yeah, she was taking it to the fullest extent, which is actually awesome. That was kind of moving, an intense part, which was special. Why do you think that this is an important subject to feature?
Sure. I think it's what I got out of like watching her experience, because again, I didn't have that experience myself. I didn't take the baby home. If I had, I likely would have had a different experience because I did not want to take the baby home. Mm-hmm. But I think it's really good to see like what other people's experiences are and their perspective, especially like with Kiara being an adolescent, and just seeing what is motherhood like without actually having to go through it before she's ready.
What would you like the audience to take away from this film?
That's a good question. Take away. I think I'd like the audience to go back to when they were in 8th grade and think about how their experiences, like, for example, like you had the reaction of, oh, she's overreacting, this is a robot baby. But if I go back and think about if I go back to my 8th grade self, there wasn't that assignment, but there was other stuff that today I go back and go, oh my gosh, you totally overreacted. But at the time, that's all you know of something that, from hearing about, is going to be a very important experience for Kiara. That was being a mother. And so I think it's just seeing that perspective of before you know things, this is what it's like to feel them for the first time.
In 8th grade, I made a pillow. That was my home ec class.
You made a pillow?
Yeah. That was the full extent.
Did you have to take care of the pillow?
No, it had eagles on it and like waterfalls on it.
Oh, nice.
Swanky
Pretty
pillow.
sick pillow.
Yeah, I lost it, so obviously probably not very good care of the pillow. Yeah. What's next for you? Any more film projects in the works?
Yeah, so I just recently finished a project for another film class. I parodied The Bachelor.
Oh, I actually watched it.
Did you watch that?
Yeah, that was great.
Thanks, yeah. It was making fun of the group assignments in college, so it's instead of The Bachelor, it's The Professor. But you can find that on YouTube.
That's fantastic.
Search Brynn Artley.
Awesome. What's next for you creatively? Creatively, in terms of topical or medium-wise, anything that is really calling to you now?
Yeah. Well, I love filmmaking. I'm a film studies major. I want to pursue a career in filmmaking after college. So I'm trying to make as many different projects as I can now and just kind of express myself.
Yeah. If the people missed the Maternity film at Frozen River Film Fest, where can they find it now? Yeah,
that is also on my YouTube page. Again, Brynn Artley, Artley. Just search YouTube and you can find it.
Awesome. And for the Frozen River Film Fest, was this your first year there, like first year exhibiting?
Yeah, I was very fortunate to be in Frozen River as a filmmaker this time. I've been part of Frozen River just visiting it and working as an intern, but this was my first year as a filmmaker, and so that was an amazing experience.
Awesome. Any big takeaways, big things that you learned from the experience as an exhibitor?
Yeah, I loved getting to network with the other filmmakers. It just was so cool to be part of a community because it's almost like when you're making films sometimes it's like you're so zeroed in on the project and it's just you and your subject or whatever. And then getting able to share it with the rest of the world is a really rewarding experience.
Yeah. Anything else that you want to just shout out in general? Any thank yous for your film or overall?
Yeah, I guess I got to thank my sister. She was really, really open with the whole process of having me film her, even though it was a very emotional project for her. So I am very, very grateful that she was so open and honest.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
A huge thank you to Brynn for joining us this afternoon. To see the film and more of her work, search Brynn Artley on YouTube. Her new project, The Professor, is out now. For more interviews with local artists, tune into the Art Beat Tuesday at 12:30. The Art Beat is made possible by a grant from the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund.
Art Beat is written and produced by KQAL FM on the campus of Winona State University. Visit us on the web at kqal.org.
Is art an important part of your life? Find podcasts of Artbeat and all your favorite KQAL shows by going to kqal.org and looking for program archives under the Media tab. Artbeat is made possible by a grant from the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund.